My name is Denise McClendon. I would like to tell you the story of my daughter, ALIYAH Wilson, who was found hung in Houston. I'll show you a picture of her first of all, and then we'll get into it. This is a picture of my daughter, so we all know who we're talking about. This is the ALIYAH Wilson. On July 19th of 2020, my daughter was found hung in Houston. I was not informed until July 23rd. How I was informed is I woke up to a text message that read, "They told me your daughter has died." That text message was from my daughter's ex-girlfriend, Courtney Brown, aka Chris Brown. So I ran and gave my husband the phone and told him what I had read. My husband called the police. The police said they confirmed it. They were looking at a file that my daughter hung herself and left no note. That's all they told me. And then after that, I spoke to the coroner's office. The coroner said that my daughter came out of her apartment with a backpack and Nike slide-on shoes, set those on the bottom steps, walked upstairs barefooted, hung herself with her fitted bed sheet, and she left no note. Well, my problem with that is my daughter's apartment door was locked. Even though she set her backpack and shoes on the stairs, she walked upstairs and on down barefooted, but there wasn't a grain of sand on her foot or on her feet, sorry. And her bed sheet that was previously cut. It even states that in my autopsy it was previously cut to 21 inches. She was 66 inches. I measured the balcony personally. That was 33 inches. There's no way possible. My daughter, she would always, when she was a child, she would run away from home and she'd always leave a note. But you're going to take your life, you're going to kill yourself and leave no note. I obtained a picture of my daughter hanging, holding a cell phone in her hand. That's not possible. And how I obtained that picture is the security guard of the apartment complex states in my police report that he came around the corner, seen dangling feet, he ran to call the police. Okay, my problem with that is you're supposed to have a walkie-talkie on you or a cell phone on you at all times. And you took a picture of my daughter hanging. And she was obviously holding a cell phone because I got the picture. I'm not gonna go into it this time, but I do have voice clippings that I can play you. Um, One of the voice clippings I have is of that security guard that I just spoke to a couple months ago. And I got him recorded, and I said, "Oh, so you found my daughter hanging?" He said, "No." I said, "You did not find my daughter hanging and take a picture and give it to the Black Panthers." He told me, "No, I was mistaken." I said, "Huh, you're my police report, and if I found a body hanging, I'm going to remember that." He said, "Oh, yeah, yeah." Knew exactly all the details about my daughter and everything about how she was found. And then I asked him, "Why did you take a picture?" He said, "So the peoples could be held accountable." What peoples? I have, and we'll just go into it. Why I know the police are covering this up and why they were paid off because of all the evidence, for one, that I have. Another piece of evidence I have, girl recorded, associate of my daughter's there in Texas. I live in Michigan. My daughter was in Texas. And she's recorded. She says, "Miss Denise," she said, "I told you." I repeat, "I told you," because I heard with my own two ears. It was Ciroc because she was moving funny that day. She went to your daughter's apartment and cleaned up and stuff. And they were going to kill me because of what I knew. And to this day, they're still looking to kill me because of what I know. Um, The ex-girlfriend, I don't believe she killed my daughter, but she set my daughter up. And I have a video that she did on Facebook, public. Um, she did like a week after my daughter died. And in that, of course, now she's got a different story. She states that somebody harmed my daughter. But in that video, when this first happened to my daughter, they were going with suicide. So she was like, "Oh, Aaliyah didn't want to be here," but I call it her rant. During her little rant video, she said, Ciroc, you know what the fuck you did? You set Aaliyah up. Aaliyah was scared as Aaliyah. She started to say Aaliyah was scared as hell, and then changed it to Aaliyah was scared for her life. So recorded. That's why I'm saying the police are covering up. Also, I have not just that. It's not just a theory of mine. I also have the girl Ciroc, her mother. Her mother's name is Rose Goff. You can Google her. I had a friend of mine run her name, and it came back that she was a Christian playwright or producer there in Houston. She's well known. She has ties to the police and to the DA. Now, when this first happened to my daughter, I accidentally pocket dialed Miss Rose before I even went to Texas, before I even got on the train and went to Texas. I accidentally pocket dialed Miss Rose, and something told me, set my phone down, and because I didn't want to talk to her, just set my phone down and act like it was an accident, that it was answered, and see how long she stays on there for. So that's what I did. Most people hang up. She stayed on the phone for like 15 minutes while I was conversating, making up things to say. I ran out of things to make up. And then she hung up. But she was listening to the whole conversation, trying to get info. Not only that, her daughter, Ciroc, online posted that she was thumbprint number 2 to unlock my daughter's cell phone. So I appealed to this Rose Goff as a mother for her daughter to come unlock my daughter's cell phone. Make a long story short, we met up at the gas station. Ciroc is 28 years old. Ciroc showed up in a car with her best friend, which I understand her friend was driving. But in a whole separate car, sorry, my phone. Mommy and Daddy showed up. And Mommy kept cutting Ciroc off from talking. When I was trying to talk to her, she kept interrupting her. Ciroc went to unlock my daughter's phone. Her hand was like this, visibly shaking, trying to unlock it. Well, anyways, I was in a text message argument with Rose about how our daughter uses the wrong thumb to unlock my daughter's phone. And out the blue, Miss Rose just was like, I know more than you think, with an upside down smiley face. It had nothing to do about our conversation. I'm like, whoa, what? Um, and then this Miss Rose, I went to her Instagram page, and I seen that she did like a podcast or something with these one people. Just did this recently. And so I Googled people, I got their information, and I called the lady. And she was kind of like, what are you calling me for? Whatever. I'm like, Rose Goff's a bad person. Her daughter's in the gang. And I was just, her daughter murdered mine. I just wanted to put out there her name. That she's a fake Christian. So basically the lady's like, confused why I'm calling her and not really wanting to hear it. So, okay, I left it alone. And then later on that night, that lady must talk to her like producer or whatever. This man called me and was like, don't call nobody else, and you're slandering Miss Rose's name. Well, tell Miss Rose to come after me for defamation. I'm slandering her name. I know I am. Tell her to come after me. She won't come after me because she don't want to be questioned. Well, Miss Rose, she just blocked me on all her social medias. I'm blocked. And she's not coming after me because she don't want to be questioned. Ciroc Goff won't come after me. She don't want to be questioned. Michael Dozier will not come after me because he don't want to be questioned. Blue, I don't know her real name. I know her first real name is Shy Lavandra. Um, but I don't know her last name. She won't come after me because of defamation. She won't come after me because she don't want to be questioned. Um, Let me give you the roles because y'all probably confused on these people. It was 3 people that killed my daughter and then hung her and tried to make it look like it was suicide. And yeah, they could get away with it because it was during COVID 2020. So it was like during COVID. So, everybody's committing suicide. So they say bullshit. But anyways, um, Courtney Brown is the ex-girlfriend. Her AKA alias name is Chris Brown or Chris Breezy. Then we have Surat Goff. Her real name's Demetrius Goff. Her mother must want her to be a boy. They're studs, Courtney and Surat. But anyway, Surat. Her real name's Demetrius Goff. But Surat Goff, she killed my daughter. Michael Dozier was the man strength to help hang my daughter up. Blue, she was the lookout person to make sure nobody would see that they were doing this. So, we'll go into this now. If this is not a cover-up, may God strike me dead. Okay? Because I know it is. Because the FBI got involved. FBI got involved October 19th of last year because I sent them a packet of all these screenshots that I got, these voice clippings I got. So the FBI guy called me October 19th, John Shemp. I called to make sure he was FBI because Courtney plays games with me. And he was the FBI. So he was like, I'm calling you because my boss received a packet of your evidence and he says something's not right about the case. He was like, that's why I'm calling you. He asked me for my daughter's cell phone that's locked. And like 3 different times, he said he was trying to get a hold of the FBI in Michigan, where I'm at, so I could take them the phone and they would send him the phone. But like 2 weeks went by and it was like, he can't get a hold of the head FBI guy? That don't make sense. So I asked him, I said, do you still want my daughter's cell phone? He told me no, because the Black Panthers had it and they could have put an encrypted text on it. And I'm just thinking, didn't see nothing but thinking, aren't you FBI? Wouldn't you know that? And then wouldn't you know if the text was put on there after my daughter died? I mean, you're FBI. So then I started talking to him, and I'll explain the story too about how that was missing. But I was talking to him about my daughter's box spring to her bed was missing. And he came to me, and he was like, oh, crackheads steal anything. I said, you mean to tell me a crackhead pushed a brand new mattress off and just stole the box spring? No. So I shut him up. Then he came to me and said there was no dirt on my daughter's feet, even though she walked upstairs barefooted outside. There was no dirt on her feet because the day before they blowed the steps off. I'm like, what? So I'm like, okay. So I opened record, his investigation report, and it came back that there was no such report as found. So I went a step further. I called the coroner's office because he claimed he'd been to the coroner's office, spent hours there, viewed my daughter's autopsy photographs, and they document everything. They have no record of this man showing up. I'm like, so I think within them 2 weeks, when he had asked for my daughter's cell phone, within them 2 weeks, somebody told him, leave it alone. And he left it alone. Big cover up. How I discussed the Black Panthers, how I mentioned them. Tell you a story about them. They ghosted me. And they probably ghosted me probably because somebody probably got a hold of them as they was like talking, because they told me chief of police wants to speak to me, but the man never spoke to me. But so they had communications with like officers and stuff. They're the ones that obtained the picture, the Black Panthers. And I think somebody got to them because they just ghosted me. They stopped returning my calls. They stopped answering my phone calls. And the story about them, And I know all Black Panthers aren't like this, but a story about them, and I just got to tell this story. Story about them. I was on this VS Icons. She's here on YouTube also, but I was on her platform, and I was doing an interview like thing with her. I was talking about my daughter, and I told her, I gave her the Black Panthers number, and I told her what I felt, that they ghosted me. So she called the Black Panther on live and was like, well, she feels like you ghosted her. He said, no, I ain't ghost her. I told her the case was closed and that I spoke to the ex-girlfriend. I said, no, you didn't. And I started arguing with him. And he told her, via Icon, he told her, I can send you a picture of her daughter hanging, and she's not holding a cell phone in her hand. VS Icon said, please, no, don't do that, because you know that could be traumatic to some people. So the next day, I did an interview again with VS Icon, and my husband was on the interview for the first time. And he told VS Icon, my husband, he was like, I can vouch for her. They did ghost her. They stopped calling her and everything. And VS Icon was like, wow. She was like, he said something totally different on my live than this candlelight visual video that he did. He was speaking totally different on the video I have. And so anyways, what the Black Panther do? This Black Panther dude that's supposed to be professional turned around and sent VS Icon a picture of my daughter hanging. And I messaged him and I told him that was very unprofessional. I said, and I'm gonna see about seeking legal help for you sharing that picture, and I didn't give you permission to. He responded, I have a team of lawyers. And then basically told me, if you would have let he said, not basically, but he said, if I would have let my daughter come home, she'd still be alive. He was like, basically, he called me an unfit mother on top of that. So that's what a professional Black Panther did. I didn't respond after he said that. I was just appalled, like, oh my God. I know I'm probably getting off subject here a little bit. Thank you. Good morning. Thank you. But yeah, I got tons of proof. Next time cause this is my first time on here, YouTube. So, next time I come on here, I will be sharing more evidence, reading the screenshots, playing live the voice clips that I have. Cause I can back up everything I am saying. My story has not faltered, has not changed. That was like this one lady I was talking to, who's the grieving mother. And sorry, I feel bad for her and everything. But I had to leave her alone because I couldn't understand. Like they're probably saying, oh, she just won't accept that her daughter committed suicide. I'm a grieving mother. So I know they say that about some parents. Some parents can't accept it. I was feeling she might be one of them. And I could be wrong, but the reason why I felt that way is because she said she didn't get her son's body. And then in another breath, she said that her son's organs were missing. Well, how do you know his organs were missing if you didn't get his body? I'm just baffled off it, so I left it alone. Hold on. Well, let me look at this. I was gonna write a book, but I see there's a lot that goes into it. So I actually wrote a 7-page story. I won't read it all. So a lot of it's like, I couldn't breathe when I heard the news and stuff like that. So, but I'm not going to read the beginning of it. A lot of things I forgot in here. So, excuse me where I start off at. I'll start off. I arrived in Texas. And you're going to get a lot more information off of this. I arrived in Texas a few days later after I was told of my daughter's death. My friend Gracie and her husband picked me up at the train station. Gracie and her husband took me to their house. where I would be staying. Gracie asked me if I wanted to go anywhere. So I said, yes, I would like to go to the coroner's office and identify my baby's body. It had been about 3 or 4 years since I last saw her. Let me get this paper to go under here because I'm losing my spot. Upon arriving at the coroner's office, I was met at the door by a police officer who told me I could not enter the building. I told the officer I was there to identify my daughter's body. She informed me again that I could not enter. Me and Gracie left in disbelief. I could not believe I could not identify my own child's body. We arrived back at her house, and I began to call funeral homes to make arrangements. I wanted Aliyah's body to be cremated so she would always be at home with me. I finally found a funeral home man that was not that expensive and made arrangements. Aliyah's brother had done a GoFundMe so I could get Aliyah's body cremated. The funeral home man went to pick Aliyah's body up and called and told me they would not release her body to him. I called the coroner's office to find out why. They informed me that Aliyah's biological father had called down there and said he was the father and he wanted her body. The coroner informed me they were putting a week's hold on her body to give him a chance to prove he was the father. He had to fax them a birth certificate with his name on there. I was pissed because he had no rights. He was never even in Aliyah's life. I raised her. He was in prison part of her life, and the other part, he was never around. He only provided me with $100 for support out of her 18 years. I knew he could not prove it, but the coroner's office said they had to give him a chance to prove it. So they were putting a week's hold on her body. He was just trying to hurt me more than I already was. While I was waiting for a week to be up, I was on a mission to prove my daughter did not commit suicide, that Courtney had murdered her. That's when I thought Courtney did it. Had murdered her. I would sit up all night and cry and search Facebook accounts of people that Aliyah knew. I came across a lot of disturbing posts. One of the Facebook accounts of people that Aliyah knew. One of the posts Aliyah's friend read. One of Aliyah's friends posted was who did it. Was it her ex? Courtney posted, being single has gotten me further than I was in a committed toxic relationship. I prefer to be single. And she was pointing to an X on her hat. Hold on. Aliyah also had messaged me on Facebook Messenger when she was alive that Courtney was harassing her and that Courtney assaulted her. She also would call me crying and that Courtney had her jumped and how Courtney injured her. I was coming across all kinds of alarming posts. Excuse me. To me, it was proof that Courtney murdered Aliyah. Aliyah's friend even felt that Courtney killed Aliyah. Now, I know Courtney didn't do it because obviously I got clippings where they're saying Ciroc did. But I believe Courtney was very abusive. There's documentation of the abuse. I have the police officer recorded saying that they don't investigate abuse. They investigate murders. And he's recorded saying that. And I'm like, well, if somebody abused somebody, that don't mean, he said that don't mean they kill somebody. That's who kills people most of the time is their abusers. So, and all of Aliyah's friends knew she was being abused. That's why I believed it was Courtney at first. But I believe Courtney set her up. So, This is old that I'm reading, but there's more detail. After my week was finally up, the funeral home man finally went to pick Aliyah's body up. The coroner's office said they would release Aliyah to the first come, first serve. That was me because I was already in Texas. So the funeral home man picked Aliyah's body up and called me to say he had her. Aliyah's sperm donor would not get her. However, the funeral home man called me again to inform me that he was putting a week's hold on cremating Aliyah's body. He said her father called him and said he was the father and he could prove it. He said he wanted Aliyah's body so he could fly her back to Michigan. He wanted to put her in a dress and have a service. The funeral man stated that he had to give him a chance to prove he was the father. I could not believe he was trying to cause me more pain. I was angry at the funeral home man for not telling me that he was going to be putting a hold on her also. So days went by. They felt like months. I sat up all night and kept on taking screenshots of these crazy posts that was proving Courtney murdered my daughter. I felt like this was all a dream. Finally, the funeral home man called me and said that the father could not even send him his identification, so he was going to go ahead and cremate her. It was August 4th, Aliyah's birthday. I told him go ahead because Aliyah had been laying on a cold metal slab for over 2 weeks now. I wanted my baby to finally be put to rest, so I told him to go ahead. Gracie had taken me to Aliyah's apartment. It was hard. We had to stop at the leasing office so they could let us in her apartment. They told us that they had to go with us and stand outside. When they let us in our apartment, I walked straight to her bedroom and took a glance around and started crying and getting hysterical. It was a mess in there. I started running around crying, looking for a piece of paper. I emptied out the kitchen trash on the floor. No paper in the trash. I flipped over her bed, looked in drawers, her closet, everywhere. I could not find a piece of paper. She had lived there for a year and just went to court. Something was not right. I ran outside crying and upset. Someone had been through all her stuff and taken things. Her journal that was on her bed that I have a picture of is gone. All her bedding is gone. I started knocking on neighbors' doors to see if anyone saw anything. The leasing man standing outside told me I could not do that. I cussed him out and told him I was going to ask questions. First door I knocked on upstairs from Aliyah's apartment was a man that came to the door. I told him what happened to my daughter and asked did he see or hear anything strange that night. He said the only thing strange to him is that my daughter's mail was all scattered on the ground. I thanked him and proceeded to knock on another door. The leasing man said the same thing again. He told me I could not do that. I screamed at him that I was going to ask a question. He could not stop me and to call the police on me. The next door I knocked on was the door where my daughter was found hanging. They did not come to the door, but I heard someone in there. I went back downstairs and knocked on her next door neighbor's door. The leasing man again said I could not do that. I yelled at him to call the police on me again. I'm going to ask a question. An older white man around his early 50s answered the door. He said he was sorry and he and his wife were asleep and heard or saw nothing. I was crying and upset. He also told me, not at that time, but he left a note on my daughter's door a little while later with his number, and I called him, and he told me he was an older white man in his 50s. He told me that his walls used to shake. He came outside one day, saw my daughter all bloody on the stoop, and was talking about call the police. And then he told me, Courtney is somebody you don't want to mess with. He knew about the abuse. And there was holes in my, like somebody punched holes in my daughter's walls in her apartment. I went back into Aaliyah's apartment where Gracie was. Gracie told me to grab some of Aaliyah's belongings that were left. I told her I didn't want anything. I was upset and not thinking. I was talking to the Lisa man. Gracie got a small suitcase of Aaliyah's and started to put some of her belongings in it. As I was talking to the Lisa man, Gracie came up to me and said, "Hey Denise, look at this." I looked down and Gracie found a garbage bag full of soaking wet towels. The towels were not smelling or drying. I left them because I did not want them to start smelling. But before I left them, I called the police and told them what I found, and asked them, did they want them? They said, what for? I said, it could be evidence. They said no. That's the reason why I ended up leaving them, because I wasn't thinking. And I just was thinking, I don't want these towels to smell on me. Gracie also took me to the property room to pick up Aaliyah's backpack. When we arrived there, they had us take a seat for like an hour. So if I signed anything, I do not remember. After about an hour, they called me to the window and just handed me the backpack. Gracie and I went to the car and I looked in the backpack. I thought the earpods that were listed in the police report were missing. I went back in to say they were missing. But what I thought was dental floss was the earpods. So, but what I will state, I'm saying that what was in the backpack was earpods. So I will tell you what was in my daughter's backpack that they said she took. What was in her backpack was the earpods, her cell phone, house keys, identification, and a pack of cigarettes. I didn't get the pack of cigarettes. I didn't know they were missing at that time till I'm back in Michigan, but I kept calling the police officer. This has been going on since 2020. When I called the police officer to question about the pack of cigarettes, he told me, we marked those as separate evidence. It could have been $1 million in them. Okay, well, the police report don't say they were marked separate evidence. Is stating that they were part of the contents that were in the backpack. And if that's the case, y'all didn't check they didn't check the front zipper. It had a front zipper on my daughter's backpack. They had 2 tubes of lipstick in there that they didn't even bother to check. Back at Gracie's house, I kept coming across all these crazy posts. Aaliyah's friends were messaging me and sending me things they considered evidence, also proving Courtney's guilt of killing Aaliyah. Everything was so alarming. I kept calling homicide, telling them about these posts, but they thought they were nothing, and they refused to question Courtney. They kept trying to convince me that my daughter committed suicide. When I went into the police station, when I was down there, I talked to a Lieutenant Mueller. And I was talking about Courtney. And he said they know the ex-girlfriend was toxic. I said, okay, why didn't you question her then? He came back and told me because nobody was on the scene. Who's going to stick around if they murder somebody? Okay, I called the homicide every day and argued with them that my daughter did not commit suicide. And they need to talk to Aaliyah's friends and question Courtney. Everyone knows that Courtney was abusing Aaliyah. I decided to call Blue. I called Blue. She answered the phone because it was a Texas number when I was in Texas. I asked Blue, I said, Do you have anything of my daughter's that I can get? Because I barely got anything. She said, I have her journal. I gasped. I said to her, I'm going to have to get that from you. She didn't agree to give it to me. All she said is that she will be at work until 7 in the morning the next day. It was like 6 in the evening when I talked to her. I hung up the phone with her and told my friend Gracie about the conversation we had. Gracie nor I could understand why she would have Aliyah's journal. Sirach had been sending me screenshots that were supposed to be evidence, but they said nothing, and Worden was blacked out. She also sent me a picture of this big coat that she said was Aliyah's. It was not, though. I could tell just by looking at it. Aliyah would only wear coats that came to her waist. Aliyah loved her butt and always showed it off. She loved her body. I was told not to meet Sirach anywhere. She was trying to set me up. She would try to hurt me. Sirach posted online, if you were the only one that could have saved someone. Broken heart emoji, Aliyah's name. She also posted online she was thumbprint number 2 to unlock Aliyah's phone. I met up with her at a gas station down the street from Aliyah's apartment. She showed up with her best friend in the car and her mom and dad in another car. Why? She was like 28 years old woman. Her hand was visibly shaking when she tried to use her thumb to unlock the phone. She also tried to punch in a code to lock the phone up for good. I told her, no, don't do that. Her mother, Miss Rose, was by her side the entire time, keeping her from talking. Hold on. Okay. She kept on cutting her off. When I got home, I told the Black Panthers no go. They asked me what thumb she used. I said her left. They told me she was supposed to use her right. I got into a text message argument with Miss Rose about how her daughter Sirach used the wrong thumb. She tried to argue with me that Sirach tried to use both her thumbs. She did not. Miss Rose also told me that Sirach had gone to a party that night Aliyah died, and that the police showed up to the party. I told her so. That was not proof of anything unless Sirach had interactions with them. Out of nowhere, she just busted out and said, I know more than you think. I was like, what? I was in shock. I told her that since she knows more than I think, I'm coming after her too. She blocked me. I called this guy. Okay, there's a bunch of names, so listen. I called this guy Andrews, who had his phone number listed online. He was nice to me, but he did not inform me that I was on speakerphone. I was talking to him about getting my daughter's cell phone unlocked. The guy on the speakerphone was like, don't worry about it, mama. We're gonna get that phone unlocked. He had to, if he had to, he would hurt somebody to get that phone unlocked. Two of Aliyah's friends wanted to meet up with me one night at around 7 at Aliyah's apartment. I said yes, but I was not sure because it was pitch black over there. One of the girls, sorry, got to the page. Gotta hear this, how they tried to get me. One of the girls said, Miss Denise, you will be safe, you with us. Then the same girl that said I would be safe, she said, well, I don't know if I can go because I don't have my gat with me and they might start shooting in my car and my child is with me. Then in the same breath, she said, my friend can drive me. She has her gat and it is registered. Of course, they got to tell me that. I really got to thinking then. I told Gracie and her husband what she said, and I was concerned because it was going to be pitch black over at Aliyah's house. I said, Okay, wait. Gracie's husband said that he did not trust that and that they should come to his house. I said okay. So I told them to come over to where I was at. First, the girl named Lolo showed up. She pulled in between our house and the neighbor's house where we couldn't see them while we were in the garage. So Gracie and I walked out the garage up to their car and Gracie started to record with her phone. Lolo said she was waiting on Jay and she was texting the entire time. Now I was supposed to meet up with Lolo, Jay, and of course Lolo's driver that had a registered gas. So it was supposed to be 3 people. We noticed a truck parked down the street with the headlights off, but somebody was smashing on the brakes. Gracie knows everyone that lives in her cul-de-sac, and she did not recognize that truck. As we stood outside Lolo's car, now mind you, Lolo's texting the whole time. A car pulled up to the stop sign with their headlights off and pulled down the street behind the truck, smashing on their brakes. Lolo says that they are with her. Now, mind you, she's texting the whole time. I waved the car back, and it takes them a minute to come back where we are at. As they were coming back to where we were, Jay was pulling up to the stop sign. The car that was behind the truck that came back, a girl got out and said she barely knew ALIYAH. There were like 7 girls that showed up when I was only expecting 3. It was like a street party. Lolo and the other girls besides Jay only stayed about 5 minutes. It took them like 30 minutes to get to where I was at. Lolo also bought a bouquet of balloons to put on ALIYAH's door and left them with me. Jay stayed and we smoked around 2 blunts. I showed her a scrapbook, baby book I had made ALIYAH. She asked me if she could take a picture of it. I said that was fine. Excuse me. Gracie's husband was telling her how he could get in ALIYAH's locked cell phone with ALIYAH's phone number. I stated that ALIYAH and I always talked on Facebook Messenger, and I did not have her cell number handy. I looked at Jay and said, do you have it? She replied, yes, it was in her car. Then she said she was about to leave. Gracie's husband, Chemo, said to her, your car is right there. It's only a skip and a hop away. Go get the number. She went and got the number. She proceeded to tell Chemo that the number was, and she proceeded to tell Chemo what the number was, and it was the wrong number. She left, and Chemo asked me, why did she have to take a picture of every page of that baby book? I said, she did? Oh my God. ALIYAH's birth certificate, along with my social security number, was in there. I called Andrews again, since he was nice to me the first time. I was crying and upset. I said to him, Andrews, I think Blue killed my daughter. He had me on speakerphone again, without informing me. Andrews said nothing to me, but the voice on the speakerphone was the same voice that was on there before. Yelling at me, the voice said, you don't know what you're talking about. Your daughter had problems, and she killed herself. Blue is my ex-girlfriend. I gasped, cussed Andrews out and the man on speakerphone, and I hung up. I immediately started to call people and tell them what the man on speakerphone said. My husband had stayed back home to take care of our other children, ALIYAH's 2 sisters and brother. As he was back in Michigan, he He was also searching Facebook for answers, proof. He ran across a post from this girl, Chanel Kitchen, that knew Aliyah that was very alarming. He called me and told me to go to her page and look at it. I did, and the post read, at 4:19, rest in peace, beautiful. I feel so stuck right now. Then at 4:33, Aliyah Wilson, call me and let me know if you're okay. You just said Aliyah was dead. And now if you go to her page, Chanel's page, the bitch has deleted that, but I have a screenshot of it. But she deleted it. Why? And she deleted every other post for that day. Why? I have a screenshot, though, of it. And then, like, I might as well tell you this. Some of the screenshots I'm going to read you. Probably not today. Probably the next time I come on because my phone will die. But one of the screenshots is from that Chanel Kitchen. And they're asking, the day my daughter died, did they get her home? Did they get her home? But was Chanel questioned? No, nobody was. But the police, if you call the police station, they're going to tell you, oh, the case is closed. We investigated. How the hell did you investigate if you asked no questions? No questions. That's not no investigations. Okay. Okay, he jumped on, my husband jumped on, let me turn the page. My husband jumped on the next plane to come be with me. He knew something was going on and he wanted to be there for me to help and make sure I was safe. Around the second day when he arrived in Houston, he wanted to go to Aliyah's apartment complex and ask questions. Gotta listen to this story. Gracie took my husband and I to Aliyah's apartment complex. We arrived at the gate to enter and followed another car in since I did not have a gate code. I showed my husband Aliyah's apartment and we could tell someone was trying to pry the screen off her living room window and get in there. As we walked around, I ran into a short little Mexican girl who looked to be about 20 or so. I told her about my daughter crying, and she said, "Oh, you the mother?" I then asked her, here's another name, if she knew Fargo Jones. She said yes. She said, he makes runs for my man, Michael Dozier. I asked her if she could show us where he lived or be at. She agreed. She started to show us, and while we were going over to where he was, she started to duck and dive, saying people had cameras and she didn't want to be seen helping us. She said Michael was dangerous. We got to the pool area, and Gracie and I decided to stay behind because there were too many of us together. And Gracie and I were bright-skinned. We didn't want to make our presence obvious. So Gracie and I walked to a drive-in where they parked the cars, the driveway-like area, in front of an apartment complex building, but where she was parked. We were talking, and some man pulled up and got out of his car. We noticed he had a teardrop tattoo under his right eye. He started to ask us our names, what we were doing out there, all kinds of questions. Then he asked if we knew where some building was. We said no. He got in his car and left. We turned around to see what building we were standing in front of, and it was the building he was looking for. We all went to the police station to talk to Lieutenant Sweet of Homicide and tell him our concerns. We showed him the video of the girl pulling up to Gracie's house with the headlights off. He sat back in his chair and had a strange look on his face like that was alarming. We started to tell him about all the questionable screenshots, our concerns that Aliyah did not commit suicide. He never really had anything to say. He would always just nod his head. He was more like a sensitive ear. He never took our concerns seriously. I want to tell you a story about this lieutenant suite. Now, I'm not going into color with this, but I'm mentioning that he was black because I'm like, oh, black cop, something's going to be done. That's why I mentioned he's black. Well, this lieutenant suite called and told me they had an eyewitness that the ex-girlfriend, Courtney Brown, busted out my daughter's window. He called and gave me autopsy results. I had spoken to him, as I read to you, and then I spoke to him previously and told him all my concerns. And I'm like, no, she didn't do this. You need to question people. Like I said, he never said nothing. It was like a sensitive ear. Well, anyways, how come none of that is listed in my police report? Courtney busted in the window, all my concerns, this lieutenant suite isn't even listed in my police report. But with this officer Morrison listed in my daughter's police report on March 25th of 2022, he listed a phone call that he got from a lady named Anna off of Facebook who said I was calling her a fraud and saying she stole my money, which I did do. But why are you going to list that in my daughter's report? Oh, and back to Lieutenant Sweet. Not to mention, when most people retire, they're excited. They let you know, I'm about to retire. This man ain't let me know he was about to retire. He retired after he gave me autopsy results. And of course, I cried when he gave me autopsy results. And when he gave me the autopsy results, he said, we're going to go with what the coroner said. The coroner said she committed suicide, so that's what we're going with. I said, what? I said, even though there's no damage to her neck, inside or out? He said, oh, she must have eased on down the balcony. Okay, I didn't think about it then because I was upset and I wasn't thinking. But if you look at the picture, her hands would have had to have been up here. She's facing the wrong way to have eased on down. So, and it's crazy. And I just got to mention this case that most people probably haven't heard about. I've been thinking and thinking about this case. And yes, my daughter's case is very bad. But this case is, to me, is a little worse. And this just shows how police are. There is a lady who is fighting for justice. I think her name is Michelle McFatridge. She's been fighting for justice for her child for 3 years because they said her daughter committed suicide by hanging herself on the bathroom doorknob. And then if you go on Facebook under Uncle Paul's page, he's got a video that shows the bathroom door. Excuse my phone. The bathroom door has indents in it where like her head was bashed in. The back of the bathroom door, the wall back there has the little, you know how you like push a bathroom door open and the little lock goes into the wall? That's into the wall. How the hell you said this girl hung herself on a bathroom door? Your natural body reaction is the fight or flight. So, but the reason why I know my daughter's case is bad, but the reason why I think that case is worse, because I really think I'd be going through it with them, because she has evidence that the door, somebody damaged the door, that it was actually, and the boyfriend never been questioned. That's who they're accusing, the boyfriend. Never been questioned. Like my daughter's case, like I say, yeah, my daughter's holding a cell phone, but I mean, come on, the bathroom doorknob? Crazy. Okay, let me see. Get back to the story. Okay, well, this story's long, so I think you got the gist of it, and I can basically give you some more details. Hold on, let me take a drink. Okay. Now, you heard the name Fargo Jones in the story. I don't have anything on Fargo Jones. Does he know something? Yes, he does. Was he involved? I do not know. But he knows something. And the reason why I say that, that's who I was accusing at first before I was really thinking about Michael. So I was getting more information about Michael Dozier. And I'll get into the information I got on him. So I was stuck on Fargo Jones. So, Chanel Kitchen. Fargo Jones is considered like her brother. They consider each other brother and sisters. She knows him very well. She told me that Fargo was acting funny that day. He did not want to talk about my daughter. I got her messaging her. I made her put it in writing. So, but that's basically all I got on Fargo. Then something else that's strange is about Fargo, how I mentioned Andrews and how he had me on speakerphone. The person who had me on the person on the speakerphone, come to find out, was Fargo. Because Andrews considers Fargo his brother also. Andrews called me one day. Now, mind you, this was after I cussed him out for this. He called me while I was back because my husband accidentally pocket dialed him when he got off work. And that was like at 7 o'clock in the morning. So what, it would have been 6 o'clock in Houston. And my husband was like, dang, he pocket dialed him. He was like, I hope you don't call back. Well, I'm sitting there folding laundry around noon. Andrews calls. I decline it. I don't answer the phone. He calls again. I decline it. He calls again. So I answered the phone. I said, don't call my husband's phone no more. And I hung up. He calls again. And I declined it. And he called again. So, and this time he left a message. And I don't have the message, which I regret that I don't have it saved. But I did let my aunt hear it. In the message, the first message, he was kind of threatening me and my husband. He said something about, he better not see me and my husband at no funeral. Then the second message, that's the one my aunt heard and said, yeah, he does sound scared. He sounded scared. He said, I don't know what you got going on with my brother. Well, that confirmed that it was Fargo on the speakerphone. I don't know what you got going on with my brother, but I don't do nothing but go to work. I didn't do anything. Okay. And then, this is why I'm saying, I don't have nothing on Fargo, but this is why he knows something or something. I don't know. Something about him. But anyways, I posted online that Fargo Jones hung my daughter. Fargo Jones never reached out to me before. And then all of a sudden, he sees that post and he wants to reach out to me. And I'm talking to Fargo on the phone. And I'm getting upset because I could tell he's lying. So I gave my husband the phone to speak to him. My husband asked Fargo, when did you hear about ALIYAH passing? And start telling people. A couple days after. Lie. Why you lying? If you didn't do anything, why you lying? This is why I couldn't talk to him, because it was just too many lies. I got a screenshot saying that you found out that day and you started telling people that day. Then you're telling me that you used to date ALIYAH. Fargo used to date ALIYAH. And then Andrews, they're like brothers, used to date ALIYAH. How the hell does that work? I'm like, what? So, it was just lies. And Fargo's the one that said Blue's his ex. Okay, sorry, try to keep up. I know it's a bunch of names. It's a complicated case. It could be a Lifetime movie. We're going to go into Michael. Okay, as in the story I was reading, the first thing, the little Mexican girl said that, oh, Fargo makes friends for my man Michael. First time I heard about Michael. Then, I'm not thinking nothing about Michael. Then I get a phone call, out the blue, from this girl named Bella. Didn't know her. Get this phone call from her. And she wants to tell me a story. You know how some females get upset at their men and they want to tell on their men. Well, she wanted to tell on her man, and her man was Michael. And she told me that he was a dangerous individual. She told me that they were scared of him. She told me that one day that she was telling me a bunch of stuff. I don't remember everything, but she did tell me Michael was in the closet. Um, she told me that one day my daughter called the police on Michael and told the police about Michael's trap house, and he said he was gonna get her. And a month later, my daughter's gone. Now she told me this about Michael. Now also about Michael, I have a picture of Michael sitting in the car in my daughter's apartment complex. And actually, I had this Facebook hidden message from my research. I found out is Courtney. She's tormented me for 3 years. Explain how in a minute. But I had a text message. It was hidden messages on Facebook. I'm not tech smart, so I didn't find out about these hidden messages probably till like 2 years later. The message was in October of 2020. It was from Ezekiel, which is Courtney, through my research. Message read, I want to tell you about your daughter's murder. To contact them. I'm like, oh shit, I could have found out back then. So anyways, I'm going to the Zeke Wells page. I seen Zeke Wells hadn't been on the Facebook page in like a year. So I'm like, dang. So he had one friend. His one friend was an OG Will. So I clicked on OG Will. And I was getting ready to message OG Will. I started typing. And asking him, did he know Zeke Will? Could he get a hold of Zeke Will? And then something told me, no, you better not do that. You don't know what's what. So I deleted the message. So then OG Will replied to me, like question marks. And I said, oh, I was typing the wrong person. And then he replied, oh, okay, I don't know though, because you erased it. So as he did that, that's when I went to his OG Will's profile page, and I seen that picture of him sitting on the car in Aaliyah's apartment complex. So I sent the picture of the man, OG Will, to my friend that was a retired forensic investigator. I said, who is this? Because I knew OG Will was a fake name because they use fake names. She came back and said, that's Michael Dozier. I said, what? So, yeah, that's Michael Dozier. So he goes by G. Will or Green. So, yeah. So that's what I have about Michael. And then I had this, they go by fake names or whatever, and they make up stuff. So I don't know who it was that called me, but it was supposedly Zeke Will. But I figured out Zeke Will is Courtney. But I had the Zeke Will call me one night at 2 o'clock in the morning. Woke me up. I got out the bed. I said, oh, I was like, you want to tell me about, I was excited. I was like, okay, he wants to tell me about my daughter's murder. So I was like, oh, you want to tell me about my daughter's murder? He said, no, I want to tell you about her suicide. Suicide is murder. I'm like, what? And then he started sticking up for Courtney, talking about, my daughter abused Courtney. My daughter got Courtney on meth. My daughter never called me high. There was no drugs in my daughter's system. It's really strange. So I knew it was lies, but I'm like, but these strange calls. And then one day, Michael Dozier had a female call me. She's all yelling and cussing at me, but I hear Michael in the background. They talking about what evidence do I have? I hear Michael in the background. Michael Dozier got a little bit of karma. Not enough for me. Michael Dozier has gone to prison. Not for my daughter. He went to prison on a fentanyl charge. Got 6 years. Not long enough. So, I'm just hoping one of them will tell it. But, sorry, my mind's going different places, trying to not forget stuff. Back to Blue. How I said she was the lookout. FBI told me that maintenance went to go do emergency maintenance that night, and they thought they see my daughter standing outside. I immediately said no. I said, unless he went up and spoke to her, that was not my daughter. Because Blue, and next time I come on, I'll show you all a picture because I'll have my laptop and with the voice clippings and stuff. But Blue looks just like my daughter. Light skinned, bald headed, same height, same weight. Looks just like my daughter. So that was not my daughter unless he went up and spoke to her, because you would think it was my daughter because they look so much alike. That was Blue being the lookout. That wasn't my daughter. So, I'm on TikTok under Justice for Aaliyah Wilson. Or that's Facebook, sorry. Facebook group, Justice for Aaliyah Wilson. TikTok is Justice for Aaliyah. There I have the picture pinned. It's just my daughter's hands, but she's holding a cell phone. Over 40,000 people have seen it. They all agree it's a cell phone. I have pinned on there. I'll let you hear the voice clipping next time I come on, but it's pinned on there. The EMS team that showed up to the scene. Now that's proof. Their report states that at 4:53 a.m. they got to my daughter's body, but yet at 4:43 a.m. they pronounced her dead. How'd you pronounce her dead before you even got to her body? Then the report states that my daughter's skin was cold, her skin was mottled, which means blood vessels forming, and her extremities were showing signs of rigor mortis. So I called down to the EMS, Houston EMS. I spoke to a doctor, got him recorded, talked to an EMS doctor. I called down there about the times, and of course he said, because they tell me anything, he said, oh, could have been a typo. Yeah, whatever. I mean, typo 463, there's no such thing. So the other thing would be 4043. So how the hell you pronounce her dead as soon as you got to her? Without even checking. But, so I called down there for that, and he said it must be a typo. And he's recorded, and I said, okay, well, since you're a doctor, can you tell me why my daughter's body temperature, when I called the coroner's office, because it's not in the autopsy, but when I called, they got one, why they said her body temperature was 96.7. 2 hours later, by the armpit, he said, oh, from the report I'm reading, it sounds like your daughter had been dead before what they said. She had been dead a while. And then I said, how long does it take for your skin to become mottled? He said, oh, that takes a while. He's recorded. But none of this is nothing to the police. The voice clippings I got were the girl saying they were going to kill her. Courtney saying Ciroc set her up. I got the voice clippings of Courtney that I could play y'all. But I wrote them all out in transcripts, because she talks so fast. If you write them out, if you just keep playing it back and listen and write it out in transcripts, you will catch her saying shit. Let me see if I can get to one of them, and I will show you exactly what I am talking about, because I'm going to read it just like... Okay, this one says... Okay, this one says, Courtney Brown's voice message to me. So this is one of her voice clippings that I will play next time, but I'm going to just read it out, because I'm going to read it just like she said it. And it don't sound like she said it like this because she's talking so fast, but it says, stupid bro, what you mean couldn't protect her from me? Bitch, I'm not the only one, bitch. You stupid Miss Denise. Please stop talking to me. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye. Then it says another one. Girl, first of all, first bitch, you didn't know shit about Aaliyah. You didn't know a damn thing about your daughter, bro. You only know of what people did told you. Other than that, you didn't know a motherfucking thing about that girl, bro. I knew that girl like the back of my hand. If her life was the motherfucking Bible, I know every scripture, verse, and chapter in that motherfucker. What the fuck? You are fucking crazy. Get your life together, you disabled, disarmed looking motherfucker. For real, for real. Because I was the best thing that happened to your daughter, dog. The best thing happened to her. And a motherfucker like you, yourself, Smish, or shaking my head, you wouldn't believe that. You know why? Because you have your own guilty conscience. You have your own guilty fucking conscience. Because you wasn't a fucking mother. But you can be a mother to the kids you have right now. That's crazy. That's wild. Hold on, I haven't gotten to her putting her foot in her mouth. Hold on. Try to get one to where she's putting her foot in her mouth. This one, I don't know if she's putting her foot in her mouth, but I'm just going to read it to you because it's a voice clipping and I do have it. But I have her in a voice clipping telling me, yeah, I told you Blue had the journal. Then I have a screenshot where she says, Blue never had her journal. Contradicting. Hold on. Hold on, I'm trying to find a good one. Give me 1 second. Hold on. I said I'm gonna pull out some of this evidence till next time, but let me see. Oh, this I'm gonna ask on. I wasn't gonna do it the next time, but I do got a minute. This, maybe someone will know. Very curious of this. Okay, my daughter's toxicology. It says this drug, and I'm going to spell it because it's hard to pronounce. But it is BENZODIAZEPINES. Excuse me. Now, I know when I Google it, it says that it's like a substance that's in cocaine that's excreted from your urine. Okay, this was my daughter's blood that was tested. This coroner's report toxicology says it was positive. But I paid for a toxicology report, $750, where it has that same drug and it has levels. And let me get to the levels. Hold on, was it this one? Okay, yeah, this one. The levels. Okay, and the levels. The reason why okay, Google says is extracted from her urine, but this is her blood that's taken. And it says the reporting limit, what could be in your system, is 50. But what was in my daughter's system was 933. What the hell is that? So if anybody can do research, that I am really trying to find out. Okay. Oh, okay, this is the one. I also, on my Facebook group, JUSTICE4ALIYAH, this, I'll read it to you, but Courtney Brown has done a video. This is where I wrote it out. So, I think it's a little long. Let me see. I wrote it out into a transcript. It is a little long. but I'm going to read it just like she said it. And in this is the one, because I got the stuff highlighted, where she put her foot in her mouth, and I'm going to read it exactly like she said. She said, man, it's about time for me to step up and say some shit to y'all motherfuckers, bro. It's about time for me to let you all motherfuckers know what the fuck was really going down between me and my ex, bro. I'm tired of half you all motherfuckers on my Facebook blaming me for some shit that I ain't never done a day in my life, let alone kill some motherfucking buddy, bro. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna put it to y'all like this. Y'all motherfuckers want to sit here and blame me for domestic violence. Y'all want to sit here that I had something to do with Aliyah's death. You all want to sit here and say that I'm the reason or cause for my ex-girlfriend's death. Or murder. Let me tell you all something, bro. I'm sick and tired of y'all motherfuckers talking down, talking shit, and trying to point the finger or whatever the fuck case may be, bro. Tell you all something. The only reason why you all doing this or y'all don't know Aliyah. Y'all never knew her. Yet y'all knew her, but y'all never, and I mean never knew Aliyah the way I knew Aliyah. Y'all never knew Aliyah the way my ex-friends, Shakia, Sam, Courtney Lee, Courtney Garrett, everybody. Y'all never knew Aliyah the way I knew my ex-girlfriend, bro. And I'm tired. I'm tired of people talking shit. I'm tired of people got my name in their motherfucking me mouth about me and what the fuck happened to my ex, bro. I had nothing to do with this girl's death. I wasn't the last motherfucking person that she had contact with. I ain't had nothing to do with that shit, bro. And I'm tired of y'all coming at me sideways like you all about that life. Like y'all about to do something to me, my nigga. Let me tell you all motherfucking something, bro. I was with this girl for 2.5 years. 2.5 motherfucking years, bro. And not ever, not once, did I ever put my hands on this girl. All the times that she put her hands on me, bro, I had knots and shit upside my head. I had a busted lip. You know what I'm talking about. All of that shit. Y'all don't know nothing about when she cheated on me and she left me. Y'all don't know about how when I got off work one night and I came home to an empty house and my house door key, sitting on top of the bed, bro. Y'all don't know nothing about this shit. But you all so-called know who Aliyah was. Woo woo. Bro, she told you all what she wanted to tell y'all, bro. She told you all the shit she wanted y'all to know. Now let me tell you something. You all something. It's 3 sides to a fucking story, bro. My side, her side, and the truth. But right now we can't talk about her side. Hold on, let me use my finger. We can't, her side. We fucking story, bro. My side. Her side, oh, and the truth. But right now, her side, okay, sorry. We can't validate her side or whatever the fuck the case may be. Whatever point is, y'all niggas is steady trying to sit here and tell and say I had something to do with my ex-girlfriend's death. First of all, why the fuck would I kill my own ex-girlfriend? What the fuck, bitch? I don't even fight. I'm not even in a gang. You know what I'm talking about? Like, what the fuck? What the fuck, bro? What the fuck? What? What the fuck? I got to do with anything? You know what I'm talking about? Like, I got somebody in my inbox telling me right now, oh, you killed Aaliyah. Oh, I woo woo woo. What the fuck you mean I killed Aaliyah, bitch? Why the fuck, first of all, why the fuck would I kill my ex-girlfriend? For what? For why? What the fuck are you all talking about, motherfuckers? Want to sit here and tell me, oh, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that. You ain't got to worry about all these people. They don't know shit. Da 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 da. First of all, I'm doing this right now for a reason, because I'm tired of you all niggas bumping your gums and talking out the side of your neck like y'all know some shit. I'm tired. I'm tired of getting messages, harassments, all of that shit, bro. I'm tired, bro. I'm tired y'all niggas don't even know half the shit that I put up with Aaliyah Nicole motherfucking me Wilson, who was from Flint, Michigan, who was born August 4th, 1997, who had an STD, who had mental problems within herself. Y'all niggas got the nerve to sit here and talk about and come at me behind some shit. Sorry, phone got a virus. Y'all niggas got the nerve to sit here and try to blame me and point the finger. Nah, nigga, I just got off the phone with her mama. Is y'all niggas serious? Is y'all serious, or is y'all serious? Let me tell y'all something. Aaliyah's dealt with so much mental problems since I met her. Even before I met her, bro, she has dealt with so much suicidal problems, so much shit within herself. There were times she begged my people, my friends, to take me home from the clubs, from me going out, because she wanted to hang herself. Y'all don't mean to tell me I had something to do with her death? Well, y'all niggas is crazy. Y'all niggas is straight up crazy, bro. Y'all doing too much. Y'all reaching. That shit, that don't even need to be reached on. Y'all doing too much, bro. And I'm not fitting to sit here and let none of y'all motherfuckers tell me or let me know what the fuck I did or didn't do for my ex, bro. Yeah, we had a very toxic relationship. Yeah, we had a very domestic violence. But wait, at the beginning, she said she never touched Aaliyah. But now y'all had a domestic violence relationship. Well, if y'all go to my Facebook group, it's long. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pages. So if y'all want to hear her whole talk, because there's a couple of them on there where you can hear her. Okay, I'm gonna get into a couple things. Let me take a drink. I'll walk back over here. Okay, I have proof that, hold on. Okay, before I get into the hospital report that I have, I want to read to you. I gotta find it right quick. Hold on, my papers get mixed up here. I want to read to you right quick. Hold on. Set my phone down a second. I think it'll stay. But I want to read to y'all right quick. Let me see if I can find it. A statement that Aaliyah wrote. Should be in here. She wrote it May 4th of 2020. Police did use this statement against me, and I'm going to tell you why. Hold on, I'm looking at these screenshots. I got screenshots split up because see, some of them I can't read on TikTok because she seems to report every TikTok video I do. This is my first video on here, so I'm not sure what I can say. But I said I was reading her things and it had the N word in it and I wasn't getting shut down, so yeah, I can say that. Hold on. Yeah, I got a bunch of screenshots here and now I'm just trying to find Aaliyah's statement before I get into the hospital record. Here it goes. Okay. This statement is of Aaliyah's May 4th of 2020. Now, before I read this to you, this is off of Facebook, so this was on our Facebook page. Well, I have proof. I didn't do it, so I have proof that her page has been memorialized, not by me. And then on August 8th, I wrote my daughter in Messenger because it made me feel better. And they looked at it because she was gone. So whoever was in our Facebook page and memorialized it, which I think it was Courtney. Yeah, so she's changed some of this. And I will explain it to you in a minute. So let me read you her statement. It says, so honestly, I never done anything like this before. But a few days ago, my ex-girlfriend came to my house without telling me anything about her coming. And she beat it on my door like the police. And I answered. She was so drunk, mind you. She's an alcoholic. I had put up with domestic violence with this girl since we got together for 2 years, dude. I never spoke on the shit because it's hard to speak on things is other things. So I kept telling her to go home. She would cry, then stop crying, and ask me, why does she have to leave? So one thing led to the next. Me kissing her ass, just so she won't attempt to hit me, like she always does. I backed up in the corner, so she wouldn't get close to me. So she swung off on me, and I tried my best to restrain her the best I could. She bit my fingers. I can barely move them now. Did all this, all because I wanted you to go home. The police came. They did nothing because she lied on me and said I attacked her, and I cannot press charges because it looked like we were both fighting. After all this happened, mind you, my windows broke, and I got drunk to the point I made a subtle plan to hang myself last night without informing anyone because it was pointless. Everybody gets tired of me running to them about this girl. And also, someone came into my home through the window while I blacked out. I don't remember anything, honestly. Okay, first of all, this is my daughter's statement. So why would my daughter yell about some stuff? For one, when she's writing her feelings. That's why she had a journal. She wrote her feelings. For two, yes, it does state the police see, look, she made a subtle plan to hang herself. Okay, I got proof somebody was in her Facebook page. Also, now, she goes into the police came. They did nothing because she lied on me because it looked like we were both. Okay, then it says, after all this happened, mind you, my window was broke. Then it goes into she made a subtle plan to hang herself last night. But then she goes into the story about someone came into her house. So why are you going to say your window was broke and then I decided to hang myself and then somebody came into my house? If you took that, I'm going to take the statement out and you're going to see how it all flows together. I'm going to take out the part of the hanging myself that was added. Okay, after all this happened, mind you, my window was broke. And also came into my home through the window while I blacked out. See, Facebook should have this original post. Because, and also, I think that was added. But the part that's yellowed out, Can't read it that good, so don't quote me on it. But she's basically saying, like, she broke my window. So Courtney had to scratch that out so people wouldn't know. Okay, now this statement that I read you. Now, ALIYAH says on May 4th of 2020 that the ex-girlfriend came to her house and bit her finger to where she could barely move it. This just tells a story about somebody came through her window last night. Well, I got her hospital records from HCA West, and I would like to know, read you exactly what it says. And the date. That's discharged now. Hold on. Okay. This one's first. That's the next one I want to read it. Okay, it says the date on this is April 30th, 2020. It says her chief complaint, alleged assault, extremity pain. And okay, and then the little free text HPI notes reads 22-year-old female, depression, bipolar disorder, genital herpes, presents to ER with possible assault. Patient states her ex-girlfriend came over. They started arguing and they assaulted each other. Police were called out to the scene. Per patient, since they both had abrasions and prior arrests, no one was arrested. Patient states ex-girlfriend left at that point. Patient went back inside and felt anxious, so she began to drink. Now, in her statement, it said that she got drunk. She began to drink until she passed out. Patient states she woke up this morning and believes someone was in her house last night. Okay, just like her statement, Courtney came over, bit her finger to where she could barely move it, and somebody was in her apartment last night. They came through the window. How she know that ahead of time? That's too coincidental. Not just that. Now, we have April 16th, 2020. The chief complaint is drug overdose, intentional, suicidal attempt, suicidal ideation. Hold on. Where does it say? Was it this one? Okay, well, I don't see where it says it, but I know I read it. But, okay, her suicidal attempt is, they said that she slit her wrist. So, let me read to you what they diagnosed her with that day. Agoraphobia, alcohol abuse, anorexia nervosa, anxiety, bipolar disorder, bulimia, conversion disorder, depression, homicidal attempt, homicidal ideation, nymphomania, major depression, mania, mood disorder, non-compliance with medications, obsessive compulsive disorder, overdose, panic disorder, personality disorder, polysubstance abuse, PTSD, schizophrenia, social anxiety disorder, substance abuse, suicidal attempt, suicidal ideation. So you mean to tell me that my daughter tried to slit her wrist, she tried to kill herself, she wants to kill somebody else, and you, my phone, and you let her go? You let her go? You didn't put no 72-hour hold on her? And then on top of that, you're saying in April, now my daughter passed in July, so you're saying in April that she slit her wrist. Well, on the autopsy silhouette, you made sure that you put childhood scars that she didn't need stitches for on there, but there's no scarring on her wrist from a slit wrist. No mark. Then you report your hospital record. It seems like you would state that something about her wrist, that you sutured them, that you bandaged them. It don't mention nothing about the wrist except for she tried to slit them. But no treatment to them, nothing. Okay, good. Yeah, I just gotta find out how to go about finding how to get a hold of, because I should be able to find out who memorialized her page. I mean, I can prove I'm her mother. I got her death certificate. I should be able to find out who memorialized the page. Just like on her Facebook page, she memorialized it. She's made it look like my daughter is on there talking to herself. You can't see nobody my daughter's talking to. She's deleted things. Deleted people because she don't want me to get a hold of these people. Now, something else that's crazy, and then I'm going to get off here. I'll share my screenshots with you the next time. Something else that's crazy real quick. Coroner's office. The report states my daughter's teeth were all natural. No, they were not. I have proof they were not. Her two front teeth were fake. And I know what dentist I took her to. They are in Houston, and I can prove it. For one. For two, let me read to you what the report says. I asked them, I requested their policy and procedures, the coroner's office, on what they do on a suicide. I received it. So it says, scene investigation. Record auxiliary body temperature. They did not do it because they didn't take her body temperature to 2 hours later till they got to the medical examiner's office by the armpit. And then, lo and behold, they come up with 96.7. Dang, I donate blood, and they take your temperature, and my temperature was, I believe it was 96.8 or 96.6, something like that. I was still alive, and my skin was not cold to the touch. And then it says, interview all relevant parties, including law enforcement, families, neighbors, and witnesses. They did not do that. Then, one more I noticed under jump, fall from height. It says, describe the descendant's behavior in the period immediately prior to the incident. They did not do that. And then when I call the coroner's office, and I'm like, y'all didn't even follow your policy and procedures. They tell me, oh, that was the police job. But it's in your policy and procedures. But this is the runaround I get. I can't even get them to tell me what that drug is. That is really strange because how I told you I paid for an independent toxicology report, $750 with the money order. And it was, let me look at the date I paid for it. I paid February 4th of 21 with the money order. That's how I was required to pay. Well, it's mighty funny that it does state on here that if I have questions, I can call. So I call about this drug. Mighty funny, I give them my account number, and the man tells me, I can't give you no information. I said, why? He said, because it's coming back that's the coroner's account. I said, what? I said, I paid for it. I'm sitting here with your report in my face. Oh, well, I can't give you no information. I'm like, so now I gotta hope that the coroner's office will be like, no, we didn't do it. I don't know. It seems like a hassle, but that to me, that's very strange. It's very strange to me that when I post videos of my daughter on TikTok, Yeah, I looked at my husband's phone under, because I guess it's got some little people like your friends for you page. When I press on that, yes, I see some of my daughter's videos because I'm friends with my husband on there. But if I go to the little home page, main page, I haven't seen any video that I've done or of my daughter for months. We're not on there. And that's weird. Oh, okay. Well, they said it was out of cocaine. I don't know, but I was told by a nurse that it would be different if it's in your blood, and they was kind of concerned about it. So, and they're like, that's kind of high levels. So, but I will come back on here again, with my laptop, and I will play the voice clip-ins and play some stuff I got, and I also will read the screenshots. So, I thank y'all for joining and listening to Aaliyah's story. And next time I join, please join. And all right, you guys have a good day. Thank you. Bye bye.